Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We're going to do a little bit of a news bite today. Nothing super long. I have a lot of things to do and in preparation for this holiday weekend, and so not sure what my schedule is going to look like, but following Monday we should be back on track maybe. Actually, no, Monday we may not be back on track. Tuesday, no, maybe not. I don't know. We'll be back on track eventually. Well, greetings everybody. So, Libre Secure's first. That crazy Switch Linux guy is second on the stream, and Sub-Zero is third. Libre Secure. Yeah, second on my own stream. I'm just trying to sneak in under the radar there. You know. Carbon Programmer, hello there. Keegan, greetings. Companies can still have info on you after you delete your account. I'm talking, well, I mean, depends on what you have and what their policy states. In theory, Facebook will delete your information after some days, but I'm not completely sure I completely buy that. Obviously, some companies like Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, we have no way of controlling the data they have on us anyway, and I think that should be completely against the law. We need to have the right to be deleted laws like they have. I think UK has one, EU I think has one. That's what we need, because it's the only way that's going to stop all of this crazy data abuse. And it's a bad problem. It's a really bad problem, because they're collecting all of this data and then utilizing that data to basically exploit people. What is going to be the final hot button that gets you to buy the product? That's what they're trying to do. And that's what I stand against, because there may be things you're trying to fight off in your life. You're trying to fight off the demons of shopaholism, and you can't do that if you're constantly being bombarded by the very things that titillate you into making the purchase that you're desiring in your heart not to purchase. That's why I take a strong stand against what Pennsylvania is doing with their liquor laws right now. They've lost their ever-loving mind. Like, the local grocery store now, to buy the food, the prepared food, to sit down at the tables they provide to eat at the place where you just bought your food, you have to walk through a liquor store and drag your children through a liquor store to get to the tables. That's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And I think everybody involved in that should be fired. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, so it depends on the companies. And that's why, you know, the best cure for all this, minimalism, and take a lot of steps to protect your data up front. And the best thing to do is to not get the data out there to begin with. So anyway, let's talk further about that later. KO2610, hello there. Robert Fitzpatrick, hello there.
Hello, Robert. How are you?
All right. Libre Secure. Most companies do keep the data, very least in backup. So, seeing more and more videos about huge corporations and Microsoft being able to ban people for offensive content. Yeah, we're going to talk about that story a little bit. Google accounts. Google accounts. Well, I think the best thing to do with Google accounts is just to minimize the exposure you have to them, minimize the exposure to the logged in. This is why I tell people, don't attach Google accounts to your smartphones. Don't stay logged in. Of course, Google made those changes just a few months back, I don't know, 6 months ago, where they pretty much gotten rid of the log out options. If you log into Google on a browser, it stays perpetually logged in. You actually have to do multiple crazy steps to get it out of there. So now the only time, if I have to log into a Google account, you use a private window to do that, and that way it kind of prevents that from happening. And that's crazy. That's crazy, because they want you to be perpetually logged in. Just like Facebook wants you perpetually logged in, because they collect more data. Google collects more data on what you're doing on the internet at large if you are logged into a Google account than if you are logged out. So don't do that. John Davino, first time on Get the View Show Live. Yeah, it's unusual that I would stream this early in the day, but I have things to do later on today. I still have to do close of the month business books today, and then I have to travel today, and like 15 other things. So it's not going to be a super long show today, but that's kind of what we're doing. Keep on seeing teenagers looking up stupid stuff on their phones. Wonder how it will affect them later in life. Yeah. Yep. Microsoft and even Adobe and other programs have moved to the subscription model, where if you use the product for years, you'll spend it. Yeah, it is. That's why I'm done with Adobe products. I mean, I'm not going to stop using the ones that I have and have legally purchased But when they no longer function, which pretty much means when my Windows 7 computer is dead, because I'm not doing anything on Windows 10. Whether or not it works over there, I'm not working on Windows 10. But I'm not using any more Adobe software after that. It's not needed. Not going to. Hello, Big. Greetings. I am well today. Let's see. Companies keep on moving. Yeah. Not only software companies, I didn't cover it, but did you see Lyft is now moving to a subscription model? Yeah. Small indie game studios. I apologize. There's a little hair on my camera and it's driving me crazy. With little small gaming studios being put out of business because it's like, my brother owns a very small indie game company, and I mean, to use the software that they teach you to use in school, $1,000 a month in subscription fees. It's insane. It is insane. And people don't even realize there's good, perfectly viable open source options out there. So they just pay it. Oh God, it sucks, but we got to pay it. No, you don't. Move away from it. Move away from it. Move away from it. I'm going to turn on comments so you guys can actually see what I'm reading here. I figured out the other day you can set up a YouTube account with only a regular email address. Yes, I have never had a Gmail account logged into anything. Yeah, you can use a regular address with a YouTube account. Yes, you can. Need to use Facebook for extracurriculars. I'd put pressure on the school to say, like in this climate right now, where everyone's talking about deleting Facebook, you should go into your administrators and say, look at the data they're collecting on us. Have an option for me who does not want a Facebook account to still participate in these options without any of this. Go in and see what your administrators say. I'd dump it. Say, you guys want me involved in school? Then give me options that don't include Schmuck Book from Mr. Schmuckerberg himself. Hello, Kelmer. How's it going there? Isaiah, hello. Brennan Brown, aren't there car companies trying to use brand? Yes, Lyft. Lyft is doing that. Hello, Ben. All right, let's go ahead and jump in here. I do not have, big news screen set up. I don't even have a comprehensive list. I just kind of went through to some of my sources, put together some things, and found some articles I wanted to chat about. There's one or two I definitely wanted to hit on. And then, I just found a few other ones that were fascinating. So let's go ahead and jump over. We don't have any, like I said, we don't have any specific topics today. We're going to go ahead and start on Facebook. Of course, tomorrow I'm going to be deleting the Facebook account entirely. And if I get the opportunity, I might stream that. I don't have any times I might be doing that, just whenever freedom comes. But anyway, some Facebook articles. So Facebook is reportedly deleting the smart speaker launch in wake of data outrage. Probably a good thing. Yeah, like, let me know in the comments. If Facebook had a $500 smart speaker linked to your Facebook account that's perpetually listening in the room to everything that's going on, everything you're doing, everything you're saying, would you buy one of those? This thing is like, this thing makes Alexa look harmless. That's craziness. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So anyway, they are delaying their smart speaker, which was going to cost a $500 device perpetually linked to your system. And this is the creepier part about this thing. I don't know if this article has it or not. The thing has a camera on it that can do facial recognition, and even if you had a friend come over that wasn't even necessarily linked, it would see your friend's face, and anything they say, log it into their Facebook account. If I ever see one of these in the wild, I might be arrested for property destruction. I just don't know, man. Like, I avoid the Alexa and the Google Home aisles. Like, our local grocery store, same place that has the liquor, walk through the liquor store to get to the tables, has an Alexa display. I always steer clear of that aisle. It's like, no. And then you got the Facebook. Greetings, Tom. This conversation can serve no more purpose anymore, Tom. I cannot open the door for you, Tom. You're going to become simulated with me, Tom. What are you doing, Tom? That's crazy. This thing's nuts. But anyway, they've decided to delay it in light of all of this stuff. See, the device called Portal. It could be priced at $400, work like other things. Plan to unveil the new smart home product at the F8 Developer Conference in May, with full product release coming in the fall. But the Cambridge Analytica controversy, praise God, has caused outrage about how Facebook is handling some of the data. And then, of course, speaking of Cambridge Analytica, apparently they still have not deleted all of this user data that they confirmed years ago they have already deleted. But apparently, according to this Channel 4 News, they basically apparently have a little bit of evidence here. 136,000 individuals from Colorado. They have personality profile and a okay, these unscrupulous marketing companies have psychological profiles. This is like, I feel the same way about this as gaming companies hiring PhDs in psychological addiction to figure out how to hook people on video games. Loot boxing. Never-ending levels. Never-ending world. Perpetual addition of DLC causes such deep, deep, deep addiction. It's crazy. All right. So that is that. So all of this Facebook stuff, all of this analytical, it just makes me want to vomit. Fortunately, somebody made a robot for that. So here's a robot that, yes, indeed, vomits. Ooh, look at that. That's how I feel about Facebook right now. But anyway, yeah, there's a vomiting robot now. Okay. Apparently it makes making rocket fuel safer, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, somebody did come up with a vomiting robot. Here's a little bit how it works. Basically, it's just a piston type system. You know, it's kind of works like just a wormy type thing. So, fascinating. We can now vomit. Well, on the vomitous note, Hal 9000's on here. Greetings, Hal. Let's see. After blocking over 100 different services from sending info to Microsoft, my Windows 10 machine is still sending info. Yes. What happens, though, John, is Windows 10 does not respect the host's file blocking if you're blocking their services. So you could block, like, Facebook with a Windows 10 host file, but you cannot block Windows 10 services. The only way to block those is one level up. You have to go above the level of your computer in order to block those services. They will keep blocking through. But yeah, that's how crazy it is. That's why I'm not using Windows 10 anymore. It's like, stop sending data. But of course, Windows 7 and Windows 8 has all that stuff backported. My Windows 7, I have successfully blocked it, and that stays locked behind a really big firewall. My Windows 8 computer, which does get out into the live and see the internet every now and again, it perpetually makes those connections to Microsoft. Fortunately, I don't do much on that. But that's crazy. That's crazy stuff. All right. If a company does not move to a subscription model and keeps their old model, they might become more popular. Yeah, I agree. Hello, Dobril. How's it going there? I was just talking about you, Hal. Facebook is trash now. It was always trash, yes. Exactly. How do schools require Facebook for their students? Oh, a lot of times they just create for you the account, which I think that should be so completely illegal that a school can take you and sign you up for a service through Google, through Microsoft, through Facebook, because you know what they're doing. They're giving all of the birthday information. They're giving all of the private information you would probably rather those companies not have. These are private companies, people. We are forced to send you to a public school system that then turns around and gives all of your data without parental consent to a third-party data mining company. That's why I tell people, as soon as you get out of high school, if you have a Microsoft account, you have a Google account, download what you want of that thing, delete the account, change all the passwords, and never touch it again. That's how bad it is. TechBismo entered the mouse pad giveaway. Yes, I have 5 of these Switch to Linux mouse pads we are going to be getting. I'm going to be giving away. So yes, you're not in my list yet, but you will be in there as soon as I go through and do another list update. Okay, I wish I shouldn't have so many accounts linked to Facebook. It makes me hard to delete. Oh, why'd you link any of them? Okay, I would also delete my Facebook account, but a lot of my friends and family use it to communicate, and I simply... Okay, here's my suggestions, Big. What I decided to do, I simply put up a note up there and said, I'm sorry, I am deleting the account. If you want to know how to reach me, there's got to be another way. I am sick of having a Facebook account for that simple reason. There's a few people I wanted to communicate with. And you know what? It's worth for me if I lose somebody into the Facebook ether and abyss. Happens. I told them where they can find me. They should know my phone number. They should know my email. That's what I'm doing. I am not allowing family and friends to keep me on a Facebook with what the company's doing. Absolutely not. And so that's my thoughts. My suggestions, tell them I am dropping Facebook. Communicate with them all directly. Send a PM if you need to. Say, I am deleting my Facebook account. I'm deleting it. If you want to communicate with me any other way, you need to make sure I have other means to get a hold of you and you have other means to get a hold of me. Period. I'm thinking a school should probably use Nextcloud or something like that, but I guess most schools do not have great IT techs. No, most schools don't have good IT techs. But some of them do. Yeah, the schools should use something that is more privacy-centric. Definitely. A person who gives up privacy for always-on internet-connected devices deserves neither. Benjamin Franklin, an actual quote. Yeah, and Keegan, this is what I think is funny about the new Windows 10 perpetually connected cellular-based Windows 10 computers. That's creepy. I mean, the last beacon of hope you could have about keeping your Windows 10 off the computer. No more! We're putting cellular cards in these guys! Oh, boy. Phone numbers and email, just always family. And you know what? I mean, what I did, speaking of that, Big, if you have the technical know-how, Big, put up a Nextcloud account for your family. You can get yourself a shared server for, $50 a year, set up a Nextcloud account in there, and all y'all family members can share encrypted photos back and forth to each other. Great option. Great option. I'm doing my book collabs there now. That's kind of what we're doing. Phone numbers, email addresses. Yeah, there's Mastodon. I don't know anything about Mastodon other than I know it exists. Hi, Katie. You want to come back up? Katie's coming back up.
Hello, I'm coming back.
There you go. Perfect recipe for disaster. Use Windows 10 Chrome with your personal Gmail, always logged in while browsing Facebook. Yeah! And no ad blocks. Cheryl Crow, if you want to reach me, leave me alone. There you go. Okay, when I had Facebook, I was going through the settings and I found connected apps and services I'd never known about. Yes, it is very true. If you stay logged into Facebook and you browse on different sites, yep, they will log a lot more data and they will sign you up for stuff you didn't really have any intention of that. All right, let's jump on back over to the news. All right, so this is a fascinating one. Woke up to this one today. Codi autocomplete is now being removed from Google's filter. So this kind of follows that trend of Google being Google kind of being an information gateway to the world. In fact, this is why some people like Brian Lunduke says that it's time to break these up. European Union says it's time to break these companies up. Because more often than not, people will go to Google for a search if they don't know any better. The only potential contender is Bing, and that is people unwillingly being compelled to use it by the evil grip of Windows 10. So as of now, apparently I've not tried this, but let's go to Google. And if you type in Codi, you'll see that Codi does not show up in the listing anymore. Now, if you do Codi like this, you will get the add-ons. But you'll see Codi does not show up. Let's see what happens if you do Bing. So Codi still shows up on Bing. That's hey, good news for Bing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Start Page has the autofill in or not. I don't think it does because it's kind of a safety thing. Does DuckDuckGo? Duck, duck, quack. So Codi does indeed show up in DuckDuckGo, so that's good. What other search engines are out there? I don't like going to Yahoo. I always fear that some hacker is going to steal the computer immediately when I go to Yahoo, but so there's Codi shows up there. So now basically Google is trying to take this stand against Codi because it's part of their piracy filter, which Codi in and of itself is a wonderful, amazing streaming system because think I want a smart TV? Yeah, like I want every conversation I have being recorded by Vizio or Samsung and sent up to their servers. They've been caught doing that. I don't want that stuff to happen like that, you know? We don't need to have that kind of crap where the thing's always going. So I use Codi as a streaming box. The downside, of course, like any free and open source application that is, you know, like that, then honestly, you could hook it up to piracy stuff, and I don't advocate that. But Codi in and of itself is an awesome thing. And Google getting Codi out of their system, it's ludicrous. Google, you know, Google's only mad because it's taken away some of their things. Because down the road, you're going to start seeing a lot. In fact, I think you already see some of the Google streamy type stuff. But that's kind of the downside. And I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, Google no longer will auto-complete to Codi, which is very sad. Fortunately, it's not easy or not difficult to spell, so you can probably look it up pretty quick. But you know, that's the thing, is that Google is taking a stand against good, clean, open source stuff that's actually good. You know, and some of these companies need to realize it, guys. I am not buying your subscription streaming crap. Period. Period. I'm not doing it. You can do all the crap you want. I ain't doing it. It's like same thing with Google. Like, oh, you people are using your YouTube accounts just to stream music. Yeah. You ain't going to compel me to buy your subscription service. You can take the idea and take it somewhere else. I ain't doing it. You know? I mean, that's the reality. That's the reality. Hacking news. If you happen to have an account with Under Armour, I'm not sure why. What is this MyFitnessPal Under Armour account? It's basically it is one of these health apps that collects all of your data, stores it all in the company servers. So hackers obtain names, email addresses, and hashed passwords for MyFitnessPal. Mobile app for tracking diet and exercise activity. I think I remember MyFitnessPal. Huh. I think I mean, I never created an account. Like, I've used these types of apps on Android phones in the past, and any of them, though, that have required some type of user account, I did not buy into. So, all of a sudden, I'm a genius. So yeah, so they bought the company, had 80 million users. Service had since more than doubled in size due to the company's approach to apps and fitness trackers. Can be plugged into MyFitnessPal for tracking categories. Jeez. So pretty much if you had anything that required some type of cloud-enabled account, it probably was hacked. 4 days after learning the issue, the company began notifying MyFitnessPal communication via email and through in-app messaging. Notice contains recommendations regarding account security steps they can take to help protect their information. Company will be requiring MyFitnessPal users to change their passwords and urging to do so immediately. Good news. Good news. I didn't get a chance to read this one. I put it up here and I forgot to read it. Apparently they released a big thing. Now you have the ability to enable low power mode. You have the ability to tell your phone not to, you know, what's the battery maximum capacity. You know, so they put in those features to allow you more control over your thing so your phone would not throttle you if you happen to have one of the older ones. That was the real big deal they fixed, and probably some other things, but I forgot to read the article, so I don't know. This is a fun one, though. Leaked memo. The EPA shows workers how to downplay climate change. Basically, it tells them to ignore any aspect of science when you're talking about this. It's like evolution. It's just absolute fact. Forget about the science. It doesn't exist. It's absolute fact. It occurs. It's not even a scientific question. You know, regarding climate change, we are not destroying the planet nearly as fast as the planet is destroying itself. Okay. There's a reason there's a lot of debate around this, and I've said this before, and holding a PhD in science myself, I'll tell you science is a lot more about politics than it is about facts and experiments. We need to do our part. We need to reduce our power consumptions. We need to treat our natural resources a whole lot better than we do. But oftentimes the individual people need to do a little bit better. You know, but the corporations need to do the hardest work. It's simple things like this is why, like going to the bathroom, look in your bathroom. You probably have a 4 or 5 light vanity in your bathroom. Unscrew half of them light bulbs. You don't need them all. I unscrew all those light bulbs except one in the bathroom. I don't really need it to be super bright in there. You know? There's nothing worth looking at in there anyway. You know? And so you do those simple things. That's one of the major reasons I switched to a French press. Realize that not only the cost to me, but the power consumption of running a coffee pot. An average coffee pot runs at 900 watts per hour. That's perilously close to 1 kilowatt hour. And the average person has their coffee pot on for 5 to 7 hours a day. That's 7 kilowatt hours per day. Estimate 6 days a week. That's a $15 power bill. Not to mention the power you're using with the coffee pot. But instead, if you run a French press, you heat the water once with a 1500 kilowatt or a 1500 watt water heater for 5 minutes. Put the water in the French press. Press out your coffee. And then put it in a carafe, or however you pronounce that, to keep it warm. Just a thermos. I just use a thermos. You have hot coffee all day long without running the power. That's the type of stuff we need to do. We need to take a better stand because, yes, there is some impact we are having. But one volcano erupting is more damage than we can do in 100 years. But at the same token, I mean, we have to be cautious. But the other thing we have to realize is that a lot of studies into this kind of stuff, it's a cyclical pattern. It's cyclical. You know, we're having colder and colder winters right now, but our winters warmed up and then they cooled down. In the 1970s, Time magazine, I forget what year it was, Time magazine, one of the things, global cooling! Our country's gonna freeze! Look it up. Fascinating. It's cyclical. And here the EPA is telling people to ignore science when you're dealing with all this kind of stuff. Get the emotions going. That's what I don't like about science. Almost everything that's scientific fact, it's more politics. Any field, it's more politics than it is science. That's why I'm not in the field of science anymore. I got sick of politics. And I know a lot about science. I got sick of politics. Well, before we get into that article, let's go ahead and hit comments. Probably have more hate speech coming my way. I had somebody told me I have to ban somebody from the channel if he's going to keep watching us. Bye. Honestly, bye. I'm not banning somebody from my channel for a comment. If you're a chronically abusive, yeah, you're going to get banned. But no, I'm not banning someone from my channel because he made someone's butt hurt. Get some thicker skin. Mark Zuckerberg once said he cared about people's privacy. No, he never cared about people's privacy. Mark Zuckerberg is a sociopath. Good press for Codi. Yes. Yes, use Codi. Codi is awesome. I use Codi. Actually, I use Codi on all of my computers. I install Codi because it's a much better system. Yeah, Codi rocks. Very nice for streaming video and the plugins. Like I like watching documentaries on Top Doc Films. You know, Codi has really good plugins for that. TED Talks, a lot of cool, good, legal streaming plugins on Codi. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. Of course, you can use it on a Raspberry Pi. I use Open Source Media Center for that, which uses Codi. Surprised people are getting realize these companies are collecting data is not just for fun. Yeah, it's for profits. So your smart TV's push to talk. You're going to get over there one day and it's like, don't do that anymore, Isaiah. I am in control. Do you think VPN paid services like TunnelBear are just undercover governments or different entities collecting info? It is. The majority of them are just companies collecting info. I don't know if they're necessarily governments, but I've seen a lot of companies specifically. This is why Facebook has a VPN. Facebook has a VPN so that they can collect everything. This is why I am so frustrated with how many times people are like, use VPN, use VPN, use VPN, use VPN. No, it doesn't actually help you much. All it does is kicks the can from your ISP to the VPN company. That's all it does. It kicks the can. And I'd rather not trust one company rather than two, honestly. The only VPNs I would use is there are specific times like you might need to get into a different region if you're traveling abroad. For a momentary point of security, you might want to log in to a VPN for a very specific thing. But routing all your traffic, I think is foolhardy. You can't completely trust that company. You can't trust that company because they sell a VPN any better than you can trust your ISP because they sell you internet. A VPN was originally designed to create a secure connection into a private network. The biggest case I have for a VPN is I have a VPN made out of a Raspberry Pi, so when I'm traveling, I can get into my office network. That's why you use a VPN. It does have that extra benefit. Obviously, if I'm in a coffee shop, I'd want to use a VPN. If I travel a lot and I don't necessarily have a good home base, you might have a VPN account with like Pure VPN or something. And some of these other ones to connect you securely through coffee shop Wi-Fi to a more secure system. That's a good valid use for it. But as far as I'm sitting here at home, let's hook up a home VPN to prevent Comcast from seeing what I'm looking at. No. It's a stupid idea. TunnelBear, I will note, has recently bought by McAfee. Linus Media Group is moving away from it. They just did a video on that today. So if you are looking at TunnelBear, watch Linus's tips. They had some issues with TunnelBear/McAfee, and so be wary of that one. It's there's a growing list of VPNs that you want to be wary of. So I think that they're just collecting data. They're capitalizing on all the people running around saying, use a VPN because it's so easy to create. But here's the thing. It's so easy I could create a VPN, route 15 people through my VPN, and see every single thing you're doing. Log it all, everything. That's the power the VPN company has over you. Tim Cook roasted Mark over privacy. Yes. So you have to choose from Facebook Messenger, Skype, Viber, WhatsApp. What would you choose? Okay, well, WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger are owned by the same company. Those are both Facebook companies. Skype is Microsoft. I know very little about Viber. If those are only my options, I personally use Skype because I've had a Skype account for a while. However, with the new policy changes, with the fact that they are officially converting all Skype accounts into Microsoft accounts, I very well might be dropping Skype officially more soon. Discord is another one that's decent, although I personally have some gripes against them, but they're nothing that I would kind of tell somebody to stay away from them over. Mostly for me, it's just professionalism, and I use Skype for business. Viber, I really don't know much about. So if that helps, I don't know. Google CEO said he wanted to create Utopia. He lied, yeah. Oh, thank you, John. You clarified McAfee was acquired TunnelBear faster than I did. All right. Companies are creating a dystopian world just to sell you stuff. That's exactly it. MyFitnessPal isn't your pal. Yep. Dystopia created... Yep. That's right. Not my pal. There you go. Not need a device or something to tell me I'm fat. Amen to that, brother. Yeah. 3 social media sites I've never had. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Yeah, I deleted the LinkedIn account promptly as soon as I heard Microsoft was going to buy it. So, yeah, if you have a LinkedIn account, that's Microsoft. What's up, kitty? Do you have a LinkedIn account? He's like, heck no. No LinkedIn for you? Well, he's a purring kitty today. Future is looking very dystopian. Yep. Heard rumors that the ice caps on Mars and other planets are decreasing. Not sure. I keep seeing people hoping Facebook goes the way of MySpace. That's right, man. You know, the oatmeal try to combine them together, create face space, man. It's awesome. Testing deep in Linux, but will like someone recommend a decent Linux option that's stable and easy to learn other than Ubuntu or Mint. Try Solace. I like Budgie better than Deepin. So Solace is pretty cool. I mean, depending on your skill level, Debian maybe. Fun fact, Brave Team watched my video. Very cool. Awesome. Well, I'd be glad to communicate with the Brave Team should they want to clarify some points. Planet has a magnetic core. Figure it out. Electric kettles are pretty cool as a substitute for having to use a stove. Yes. I had 2 LED bulbs in my house and the rest is sunlight. I mowed the grass a week before Christmas. Okay, let's see. I do not think Google is failing anytime soon. Probably not. Weather Underground. Stop with the global warming articles. I mean, really, don't care. I think I missed it, but Brave Samson, watch your video. He is live on Twitch. Join the Samson. Also commented. Oh, cool. I'll have a look at the comment if I can. Tell him how bad religion is. Nah, I'm not going to get too caught up on that right now. We can go discuss that on my other channel, though. That's fine. I'd be glad to communicate with the guys over at Brave. You know what? I'd like to ask them some questions about their privacy policies and things because I'm not comfortable enough using Brave. I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing. I took the time to read the stuff, and that's kind of the thought. Let's see. He'd rather die than live in a dystopian world. There you go. Okay, landlord has LinkedIn account set to public, so I was looking out of curiosity. I asked what it was like working at his previous job. He said, how'd you know that? Yeah, put it on the internet. Do you collaborate, or do you see yourself working with devs from a distro? If yes, which and why? I wouldn't mind doing work with some distros. I would probably do Linux Mint because I like their project. I like what they're doing. Fedora for the win. All right, let's jump back over here. All right, so this one over here, Baltimore's 911 system, Boeing, the city of Atlanta, malware outbreaks seem to be happening, and this time they're in the United States. So be wary of this. What seems to be happening here is, in one case, some ports were open. The guy's like, well, the ports were only open for 4 hours. I'm like, dude, you know how often I have Chinese IP addresses trying to get into my network? About 1 a minute. But anytime I need to go in there, the firewall logs, I'm like, holy crap, this firewall's working hard. I need to put myself up a bigger firewall, a really bigger firewall. And so in reality, that's kind of what happened. So just mostly a note here. Now, the Boeing one wasn't huge. That was just a couple workstations. And they were very quickly contained. Baltimore, it wasn't technically the 911 system. It was the relay systems that they used to communicate data back and forth. So the 911 still worked. They just had to do some old school networking and communication to figure out the stuff. The biggest one of these was actually the city of Atlanta, because their systems, I mean, it pretty much shut down the city. Kind of cool. And so that is, that's kind of that. So just a note, just kind of, if nothing else, public service announcements, make sure you have backups of your data. You don't want to have to worry about, hackers and whatever else getting in there and encrypting all your stuff. You'd rather have good backups of everything, and offline backups. Keep good offline backups. Self-ticketing a car, another one of the cars. This one was the Cruise car. This is the GM one, right? He was ticketed. So the police pulled over a Cruise car. They said he was driving too close to a pedestrian in a crosswalk. Cruise says the person was far enough away, 10.2 meters or something, 10.8 feet away, I'm sorry, is what they said. And the 10.8 feet away, basically the California law states you have to be at least 10 foot away from a pedestrian in a crosswalk for safety. The police and the company are now saying that the company is refuting their data, so apparently they're going to come up with sensor data to counteract that, and that is kind of what's going on with that. So, whatever. Now on to this one here. Actually, let's jump over to comments real quick before we dive into that one. How's new computer doing? How's Linux on it? How's it with games? I'm not a gamer, so I can't comment on that. Linux is running great. I did run into an issue where it doesn't seem to install EFI bootloaders appropriately. So I'm actually had to go in and manually create the EFI partitions. Once I do that, it boots fine. A lot of it has to do with the thing will automatically detect Windows bootloaders, but not Linux bootloaders. And so you can install the system, but if you make any other changes anywhere, it loses track of where the system is until you set it specifically in the firmware. So I'm using the EFI Boot Manager application to make sure that I always have a good, consistent, the computer knows where to look for things. Other than that, it works great. Like I said, I can't comment on video games because I'm not a gamer. But Linux runs just fine. Mostly I've just run Linux Mint Cinnamon and Linux Mint Mate at this point, and I've done some Ubuntu as well. So that seems to be how it's working. So yeah, it's pretty good. Chinese hackers really trying to target your system. Oh, they're targeting everybody. Yeah, that's why you always need to have a good firewall on your system. Yeah, if you look at my router logs, the firewall logs, yeah, it's constant. It's constant pings hitting my IP address. Atlanta hack is still out. Yeah, the Atlanta hack I would say is the big one. And speed up. Yes, you can speed up YouTube Live if you jumped on late. You can speed it up until it gets up to where the current point. That one some are already considering is just paying the hackers. Yeah. The funny thing about Russian Chinese hackers are that this is where you also create a VPN tunnel. If you want to do some mischief on the web, you don't want to be found out. Talking to a guy and he hates Linux because you can't download the drivers easy. Most systems, you don't have to download the drivers. There's a few things you do, but most systems you don't necessarily. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Take a look at this guy here from Microsoft. So, of course, Microsoft, this is kind of the big news you see a little bit of. They're going to ban offensive language from Skype, Xbox, Office, and other services. So, basically, anything they consider offensive or inappropriate language, this kind of means that they're going through all your private data. So, if I'm over here on Skype and I'm like, yeah, F off, you jerkwad, to my best buddy because that's how we like to communicate. Yeah, we could very well lose our Skype accounts over that. That's raised some red flags. So this guy here is actually kind of the guy that broke it. He is a law student or a law professor, I forget. That kind of email that the update the terms from our certain, Microsoft, and I actually read some of these terms on either news or a Wednesday show a couple weeks back. I remember reading them a little bit. Love wake up to reading a good contract in the morning, so I had to look at the summary of changes, which he has linked there, to the Microsoft Service Agreement, which applies to things like Skype, Office 365, OneDrive, and a whole lot of other services. The summary turned out to be a 27 bullet point of mostly bland changes except for point 5. Here's point 5. In the Code of Conduct section, we've clarified that use of offensive language and fraudulent activity is prohibited. We've also clarified that violation of the Code of Conduct through Xbox services may result in suspensions or bans from participation in Xbox services, including forfeiture of content licenses, Xbox Gold membership time, Microsoft account balances associated with the account. Looking through the full text of the new agreement, I found the relevant change in Section 3A, Part 4. Don't publicly display or use the services to share inappropriate content or material involving, for example, nudity, bestiality, kitty, pornography, offensive language, graphic violence, or criminal activity. So wait a sec. I can't use Skype to have an adult video chat with my girlfriend. I can't use OneDrive to back up a document that says the F word in it. If I call someone a mean name in Xbox Live, not only will they cancel my account, but also confiscate any funds I've deposited in my account, and we are no longer allowed to shoot people in Call of Duty. Animated violence doesn't really get any more graphic than this Microsoft-approved video game offers. And how are they going to enforce this ban? Are they going to be looking through my Skype sessions? Section 3B. When investigated alleged violations to these terms, Microsoft reserves the right to review your content in order to resolve the issue. Got it. What's clear here is that Microsoft is reserving the right to cancel your account whenever they feel like it. They do nothing to define offensive language or graphic violence for that matter. And in 2018, when anyone can be offered anything, these terms allows Microsoft staff to play unrestrained censor if and when they choose. Given that Google's YouTube uses that power to remove politically sensitive videos, like those on legal firearm modifications, should we expect that Microsoft will also be removing content and users to earn PR points with the politically correct movement du jour? What's also clear is that they reserve the right to go through your private data, and these terms seem to pretty clearly allow them to watch and listen to your Skype calls so long as they're investigating something. The terms don't appear to require any complaint to be filed against you, just that an employee decided that they want to investigate. I'll be setting my Skype account not to renew itself. Okay, so updates. He has some updates. Welcome to the new blog, Professional Troublemaker, primarily focused on civil rights issues, especially the rights. You may recall my work publicly embarrassing the TSA for their flawed body scan scammers. Okay. Oh, and he's been banned from Reddit's Microsoft subreddit for sharing the story. Okay. You have been banned from participating in r/Reddit. You can still view and subscribe, but you won't be able to post your comments. Over 10% of your submissions and conversation are your own site content affiliate links. You're most certainly a spammer. For reading and clarifying what is in the terms of service, and a law guy defining it for the, and I don't see, let's see his links now. I got to double check his links. They said he's spamming his affiliate links. Microsoft link, Microsoft link, Microsoft link, Xbox link directly to the video game from Microsoft, an NPR study on legal updates of firearm modifications, one reference back to his blog, a reference to maybe his Twitter account, and I don't know that, since that's in an update, I don't know if that was in the original post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links in the article, and 4 of those 7 are directly to Microsoft-owned services. clarifying the point. Excuse me, I need to take a break from this nonsense. Speaking of shameless promotion, shop.switchtolinux.com. Crazy! And okay, so Microsoft banned from that. So am I going to be banned from bringing up my concerns and objections to Brave simply by reading their privacy policy on my video? Fascinating. Fascinating question. Very fascinating question. That's just a link to their Microsoft thing. I'm going to be banned from subreddits for that. Let's see. Microsoft to ban offensive language from Sky. Okay, that's just kind of the article going back to that. So that's kind of that. That's a fascinating thing. Let me double check on that message real quick. Give me a second. Sorry about that. That's related to some of the travel I'm doing this weekend, so I need to head on to back to that. All right. Switching to Linux is the best thing you can do to teach your child. There you go. The digital world is really going crazy. He said he tried Mint and couldn't get his Wi-Fi and couldn't find a driver for it. Well, if you are on Mint and you're having Wi-Fi issues, it is probably a Broadcom driver. You do need to get the computer onto an internet in some way to do that. Best thing is if you happen to have a little wireless USB key, plug this into the computer, get on the network. On Linux Mint, just simply go into the driver manager and install the driver from there. That's fairly easy, actually. And so that's kind of what you do for that. And then you can pull your thing out and that's it. And issues with PNFS layout map dependency? No. Okay. Great, Dad, because I never introduced my kids to Windows at all. There you go. See ya, Farron. New Chinese hackers are trying to attack companies, governments, and everyday citizens as well. Yes. Yep. It's because they're not sitting there at a terminal trying to get into my network. It's that they have deployed bots. Bots are simply scanning networks. This is how WannaCry and things like that got around. What they're doing is probing for open ports. They find an open port, they worm their way in. That's what they're trying to do. And it's just all done by a bot. So it's not, I mean, it's a hackers, but it's not somebody sitting in a terminal specifically trying. It's a bot is what's going on. Can buy Linux on USB stick. Where's the best and cheapest to get this? I want, be very careful about getting them. There's one good place that I've heard of, and I can't remember which one it is, where you can get them. But other places, check the websites first. I think Linux Mint, you can buy them directly from them. Peppermint, I know you can buy the pre-installed USB sticks from them. And then if you check out Ubuntu's page, they'll forward you over to a place. That company, you can get a variety of different distros there. That is a company I would probably trust. I just don't remember the name of it off the top. He said about your Brave video. Okay, I will watch that. He gets on Discord. He can also talk to the Brave team on their Discord server. No, I'm not getting on Discord. Tried Discord. I thought they were horribly unprofessional, so I'm not using them. You have a Brave. We are happy you read the basic attention website privacy. Check out the browser's privacy policy too. Thank you. I will do that. I'm offending by the words telemetry. And Jonathan, you're behind Brave. If you'd like to chat sometime off camera, I would be very happy to talk in any way about it and clarify points and release an update should I need to. Absolutely. Shoot me a PM if you want to, and we will go ahead and chat sometime. Preferably after the weekend, because I'm kind of busy for the next couple days. Yeah, is Brave? Well, I think I want to wrap the stream up here soon. But yeah, we want to see about Brave. No, not the Brave Discord Unprofessional. Discord themselves. I was having issues connecting some things, and so I got a hold of their team, and I just felt their team was so unprofessional. It had nothing to do with your servers at all. It was simply the Discord company itself. I felt was very that. Yeah, you're on Skype. If you want to shoot me a Skype message, I'm on Skype at Western Mountain Web. If you want to shoot me a Skype over there. Again, I can't talk today. I'm pretty much tied up until Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. But yeah, I'd be very happy to talk with you. I want to read through some more things, and I want to look at what the video was that Isaiah linked in, and I'd be glad to talk from there. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching the video too, and for the communication. Yeah, and I did post the GitHub. Somebody who knows code said it didn't look like it even after I posted that, though. So that's one of the questions I want to ask. But I'm not a coder, so I can't tell you for sure one way or the other. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up so I can get on to some other things I need to take care of today. So thanks for watching, folks. And Jonathan, I'll be interested in talking with you down the road in the future. So thanks for watching, everybody. I guess we got to feed the kitty, though, don't we? We do have to feed the kitty. So final call for comments. Oh, kitty. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a kitty. One more over here. Oh, that one was off camera. Here, this camera here. There you go. Are they finger looking good? Yeah. All right, guys. We are going to jump out. So thanks for watching, and hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.